Alright, so today we're gonna go check out this Tokyo Skytree. I just actually caught the bus over here, which the bus is really convenient. Picks me up right in front of where I stay at. So let me show you what the Skytree looks like from back here across the street right now. Okay, so the Tokyo Skytree is actually the second tallest structure in the world. It's not the largest building, but the second tallest structure. And in Japan, they have, I think there's 10 very large buildings. I actually went to one of the other ones in Yokohama, but I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like during the daytime. But this is what it looks like down here. It appears to be somewhat dirty. Definitely not drinking water. But as you can see, it's lots of buildings around here. Looks like there's this nice ramen place over there. Tons of people out on the weekend. So if you don't like dealing with people, do not come out on the weekend because it's super crowded on the weekend over here. Okay, so I switched over to this GoPro. It's a little bit easier to handle in my phone. Plus I think I can get you guys a little bit better picture over there. So I'm like across the street from the Skytree over here. So yeah, tons and tons of people are out right now on the street. I'm kind of taking the side street right now so I can avoid a lot of different people. But basically, if you don't like dealing with a lot of people, then this is probably not the place for you to be. I think within the metro area here, there's probably 20-30 million people at least in close proximity to Tokyo. And then Tokyo has many other, or rather Japan has many other very large cities. You've got Osaka, you've got Kyoto, and a bunch of other cities with populations like 10 million people or above. Looks like people over here getting their pictures on. So I'm actually gonna walk around here on the outside first, and then I'm gonna go on the inside. I'll probably get a little bit of footage on the inside, but personally I don't like to be so socially awkward taking video and public as much when I'm actually going somewhere, because I think people come out for a certain level of privacy. So, but I can see many people have their cameras out. I am going to try to get up to that observation deck. I don't know if I'm going to do it today or not, but I am actually going to get up there at some point on this trip so I can show you guys what that view looks like of the city and surrounding from up there. I'm not exactly sure how tall this is. I'll look that up and I'll let you know when I get back to that next video. I'll tell you guys exactly how tall it is. So I think back here they've got a shop where you can buy stuff at. and then get to the observation deck. Now, in English, we call it Skytree. In Japanese, they call it Skytree. So a little bit different, but if they said Skytree to you, you'd understand what it is. Thing that I noticed about being out here is jeans are not as popular. I think people do wear jeans, but it's definitely not as popular as in the US. And another thing that I noticed about over here is that fashion is like all over the place. You see people that are extremely fashionable, and then you see people that they look like they do not have a clue at all about what they should be wearing. The colors don't match. Stuff is super baggy. Over here, some of those trends might be fashionable, but if you went anywhere else, I don't think it would be. Okay, so this is a map of where it is over here. I'm not exactly sure where we are on this map. But I will find my way. Okay, so apparently we are right here. And I'm gonna go back this direction that I just came from, because I'm gonna try to find this observation deck so I can kind of see what that looks like on the inside of that observation deck, and then I'll try to get a little video of that. So I'm about to go check out this Skytree shop, and then I think this part goes over to this observation deck. As you can see, I'm right here. Get a little bit of video as we go in right here. So it looks like this board right here is showing how tall it is. I think there's some other facts that it's telling you on here. Like, it's got these architectural drawings of what it looked like as they were building it. And I think some of these are like the artist renderings and the concepts of what it is. But let's start back down here in the beginning. So it looks like it's 600 plus meters tall. Construction work. Built up. So it looks like they built this part down here first, and then they built this part second. Probably had to have that elevator up to go all the way to the top. But I do see a couple of different designs. 1, 2, 3 designs, 4 designs, and then the final design right here. So this is what they call the Skytree Gallery. Skytree Gallery over here. I'm just going to back up so I can get you a little bit of a better vantage point. Now this mural, it's not really super accurate because it kind of cuts off at some point on this city map. I was actually looking for where I live at on this map, and I could not find it. I'm sorry, on this mural, but I could not find it because the map kind of cuts off. But then there's other notable places up here. You can see the red thing in the middle, that's Tokyo Tower. And this is a very popular tourist attraction. I'm not sure how many people come here per year, but it's got to be hundreds of thousands, if not, I mean, millions. I know some people that don't live here necessarily, this probably isn't special to them necessarily, but this is like an architectural phenomena. All right, so this says Tokyo Skytree is the one and only symbol structure characterized by the combination of the Japanese culture of harmony and state-of-the-art technologies. In commissioning the construction, careful discussion and researches were made by experts in various fields such as designing, construction, lighting, and interior exhibitions. Born here in 2012 as a new symbol of Japan, Tokyo Skytree adopts its original and world-first architectural technologies throughout the tower. We would like to let you know more about the tower. This gallery introduces the fascinating features of Tokyo Skytree, and we hope you will enjoy new discoveries about the tower and make your visit to us a memorable one. And then this is that same thing over here in Japanese language. So, interestingly enough, the Japanese language is comprised of 3 different written languages. You have hiragana, which is the basic language that most people would learn to start off with. I've taken a class where I learned hiragana. I don't have it all the way down. I'm probably 90% down, to be honest, on hiragana, so I can read some of these symbols now. The other thing that's interesting about the language is that these symbols actually represent sounds. So this is U, like tsunami, or U. This is Te. This is an example of hiragana. This is katakana. These are katakana letters. I know that's a ka right there for sure. And then this is shi, and then this is I. This is ha. And then these are kanji letters. So kanji is the 3rd written form. So you got hiragana, katakana letters, and then kanji letters. Now, in order to get up to kanji, it's very difficult. Like, kanji's got over 100,000 different symbols, and the language actually originates from, I think it's like Chinese language. So parts of the language and some of the symbols that are a part of the Japanese language probably could be understood by some Chinese people. However, there's so many different areas and symbols in the language that they're not all the same. A lot of these symbols are, again, native to probably an ancient Chinese language. However, katakana and hiragana are definitely going to be just unique to Japanese language. All right, I just want to get a little bit more footage over here of this mural. Which is definitely really cool. I'm actually gonna go over here and find out how much it costs to go inside. I think it's like $12, but we'll see. Now, one other thing that I'm definitely gonna tell you while I'm traveling around, there are some people here that do speak English, but there's not a lot. I would probably say maybe 5%. I don't know the exact statistic, but I'm just telling you based on my own experience. So if you want to get around by yourself, you definitely have to know a little bit of Japanese, because you're going to start talking to people or trying to talk to people, and they're going to have no idea what you're even talking about. So if you know a little bit of Japanese, then you might be able to get away with it. But if you don't know any Japanese at all, it's going to be very difficult for you to find your way around here. So it looks like they have brochures here. I'm going to take the English brochure. But you can see they have Chinese, Japanese, English, Korean, Spanish, and French. So that's just letting you know that there's a lot of people that come here to visit from around the world. And I've been here several times. There are tons of tourists internationally. You see people from all over the world that are coming to visit Japan for a lot of different reasons. Number one, I would probably say the culture. It's very ancient and very established, very traditional. Still, there's a lot of traditions that are hundreds, if not even thousands of years old. In other countries, like the US, maybe the country's not that old, so we don't have hundreds of years of traditions going on. The other reason why I think people come here is because once you get out of the city and you get countryside, it's a very, very beautiful place. Currently, it is cherry blossom season right around now. It's just now starting to warm up here. So the cherry blossoms are definitely something that's very beautiful to see. In Japanese, they say that the word beautiful is kirei. My teacher told me that that was one of the most important words that you have to learn, so I had to memorize that one. So as previously mentioned, there's different colors that happen at different times. So it looks like there's Nobori, Miyabi, Iki, and then there's got tons of other different color schemes that happen at different points. So it appears as if Iki means spirit of urban commoners of Edo. Edo is what used to be the old name of Tokyo before they renamed it to modern day Tokyo. It used to be Edo before. Miyabi, it says traditional Japanese aesthetics, and Nobori is prosperity. So they're giving us the random facts here. It says, how long did it take to complete? It said the construction was complete in 25 days, approximately 3 years, 8 months from groundbreaking on July 14, 2008. And then I'm gonna get up close here so I can show you the different stages of how it was built. So that appears to be October 21st, 2009, where they just kind of had the base built. This looks like a model to me, but it might be real. Then it says September 20th, 2009. And then it says July 9th, 2009. That's actually the base. I think I probably did that backwards, so. So this appears to be a scale model, 1/150th of the true size. So that looks to be probably about 15 feet tall. So it looks like it's directing us up to 4F, where we can find the main ticket counter up at 4F. So I think we have to go up that escalator right there to find the ticket counter. I'm gonna run up to the ticket counter just so I can see what it's about. I've already been here once before, but I did not get video the way that I wanted, so I figure I'm just gonna come back this time so I can document this particular place, because it's definitely something that you will see. And when you're going places and you're lost, you can always look for the Skytree. If you can't see the Skytree, then you're really lost there. So this is 2F. There's a lot of food on here. I'll come back to this 2F level and get a little bit of video on 2F. But it smells so good down here. Like, you literally will not believe they have thousands and thousands, hundreds of food, millions of foods out here. So that whole floor looked like it was food. And then this level has a food court, and I believe that they're shopping on this level right here. All right, so we just went up from 1, 2, 3, and now we're going up to level 4 up here. As you can see. So this is the Skytree level, and it is super packed up here. This looks like the ticket interest over here. Looks like there's a couple ways that you could get a ticket. Advance holders without a reservation, online booking, stand in line to buy tickets at the counter, and then apparently you need to enter, or if you have your ticket already on your phone, then you could just go get it from there. So this is the Tree Village Entertainment Shop here in Japan. There's this whole culture. It's based on things being cute. It's Kawaii culture. It's all about cute little faces and stuffed animals and characters and all this stuff that's just about cuteness. Like, I'm sure this store is a little bit extreme, but you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about by when I say Kawaii culture. See, like these socks, somebody's gonna like those socks. I'm not personally gonna wear those socks, but somebody will. Brings me to the next thing that I want to discuss: anime. Anime is like bigger than life over here. You have so much anime. Like, I'm not into it, but when I take you guys over to Akihabara, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. There's at least one store that I can tell you about that is like 10-12 levels of just anime stuff. So it appears as if these are some popular characters. I don't even watch this stuff, so I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you what it is, but this anime section is full. You can see. I'm about to get up out of here. This is the entertainment section of this shop. But I just want to run through here so I can show you guys what it looked like on the inside of this Tree Village shop. So I'm going back down from 4. I'm gonna take you guys over here to 3 and show you. They got this massive food court over here with all types of foods. Now this is something that is very interesting about Japan. They have the foods displayed at these restaurants. If you go to a retail center, so the foods are displayed like this, and of course it's fake food, it's plastic, but that's something that they do different here. They don't really do that in the US. And then a lot of these foods I probably would not eat. They're not to my liking. Maybe those pot stickers might be okay, but I'm not really into eggs and seafood and all this stuff. I don't eat it. I'm gonna just get a quick little run around here. They got this Korean barbecue spot. They got some ramen spot over here. They got all types of good food in here. I would love to try one of these. I have tried one of these places before. I think I tried that Korean barbecue spot when I was out here last time. It was pretty good, but I'm kind of picky when it comes to my food. So if you come to Japan and you're expecting to see people that look like you, don't expect it unless you're Asian, because I ain't seen like one person out of the last 50,000 people that look like I look. All right, here's another thing that's interesting that they have here. They have these vending machines like a lot of places where, I don't know, it's like a game. Maybe this is like the claw game. This has definitely got to be for kids. Okay, so down here on this floor, this is mainly retail. I believe this is 3F. And then they do have, at this ABC Mart, they do have some brands that you would notice in the US. You got some Reeboks. What else do they have? I'm a Nike fan. You guys already know that. They got Pumas in here. And then they have, oh, they got some Timberlands. Okay. They got Timberland boots in here. I might have to come back and get some Timberland boots up out of here. So I don't think this was the store I was actually looking for. There's another store in here that does have the Nikes, but this one looks like it only has Nikes for kids. Hey, I'm about to head back downstairs, and I'll probably come back to this Skytree later on a day where it's not as crowded, so that I can actually get the kind of video that I want without kind of being crowded. See, like when you go places in Japan on the weekend, it is super crowded, and over here people are about their manners and being polite. So I don't want to be a rude tourist coming over here trying to get a bunch of video and bumping into people and falling all over the place. So let's go back down this escalator right here to floor number 2. Okay, and then this over here is just all retail shopping. I'm gonna breeze through here and show you guys. Just, they have like a million food options. So these is like prepared meals over here. They got salads, they got hot food that you can cook. They got like 1 trillion food choices. This appears to be the specialty food store back here, where you can get specialty foods. But if you're a dessert junkie, then this is the place to be. This is absolutely the place to be for people that love their sweets. Yeah, a lot of these foods I don't personally eat, but if you love food, then you will absolutely love a trip here. Okay, so this is like an example of a bento box. So they put together, like, you got some meat or whatever over here, then you got some beans, and then you got tofu, and then you got rice down there. So these bento boxes is kind of it's like a popular way to eat food. You can find those at the convenience stores and stuff like that. Okay, this appears to be like some pot stickers or something like that. Oh no, this is dumplings. So this is pork, shrimp. Ah, okay, so this is like I think this is like yakitori, so it's like kind of like some meat on a stick. It looks like it's got some vegetables on there. It's mainly chicken over there. I'm not sure if some of those are beef on there, but that definitely looks like chicken. That's fried chicken, so that's karagi. But yeah, they got a million foods over here. Like, you're not gonna go hungry over here. This appears to be like a larger version of a bento box. So You eat one of those and you're probably good. Alright, let's go run back here. Check out this guide over here. So this is the dining guide, where they feature all of the various different restaurants that you can go to, and it tells you what floor they're on, and then you get a picture. So back here, this is all sweets. This is all sweets and snacks back here. I'm actually about to grab a couple of these sweets over here before I head back. But right now, I don't want to buy nothing because I already got a bag with me. Okay, so those is like box, kind of a gift. That's something you would buy for a gift. Gifts are like really big here. A lot of people give gifts, and they'll give a gift and it has to be wrapped right. It has to be, the presentation has to be nice, like it's a gift. Otherwise it's kind of insulting to the people. If you were to buy something like this for like your coworker or something there, and you did not wrap it, they would probably look at you funny. This looks like a this kind of looks like sembe, which is like a rice cracker. I've had those pretty good, but as you can see, like you can't get any of this type of stuff in the US. They don't have them. All right, this is sembe. I know that for sure because I've had that. But this is like a squid snack. That's the other thing too. They have different flavors over here that you would not get in the US. Like this is squid. Then there's like shrimp flavored stuff, and there's probably other versions or flavors of various different seafood types of snacks that you could get, crackers or chips or whatever. It might look like something that you're familiar with, but you got to be able to read the package to see what it actually is. I'm gonna pull out my other phone so I can use Google and translate one of these products. Okay, so we're gonna use Google Lens to look up one of these products over here. Let's look up this one right here. Let's see what that is. Okay, so Google Lens says this is rice growing countryside. So this is some type of rice based snack, which I'd probably imagine almost all of these over here are some kind of rice based snacks, just based on my experience. Okay, here's another good example. This looks kind of like mini, kind of like crab almost. Let's go back into Google Lens and see if we can find out what that is. Ah, exactly like I thought. This is Kani crab. I mean, it looks like crab, so you can kind of tell. But, and then this is probably some type of fish. This appears to be like some dried sardines or something like that. Like stuff that we probably would not want to eat in the US. Look, it's even got the eyes on it still. So, but again, you got millions You got millions and millions of foods that you probably would never ever even be able to experience if you did not come here. See, this appears to be some type of crab based thing, and then some of these are fish. The important thing you definitely want to know is that do not just buy something and think you know what it is. You'll be buying something and it will be exactly the opposite of what you thought it was. All right, now they got some of the things I'm used to up here. All right, this is all candy, so I know what all of this stuff is, but they got some Doritos up here. They got taco flavor. They got flaming Cheetos. So this is definitely the place you want to be if you want to get some snacks. And then of course nuts and all this. They got the same type of nuts. We would want some peanuts. They got some pistachios. They got California pistachios over here. Now when you come up to a place like this, you probably are going to pay a little bit more. It appears as if this is like fresh fruits, dried fruits. Probably more natural than what you would get in the US, because in the US this is going to be like pure sugar. But I think when it's dried fruit like this, it's still high in sugar anyway. I'm not exactly positive. Don't quote me on that. All right, I'm about to get up out of here. I gave you guys that little snack tour so you could see what's going on. I will be back in here to get some of these traditional snacks that I can identify. Oh, as I was mentioning, if you want to get a gift for someone, this is kind of going to be like the packaging of what you get for like a coworker or, I don't know, a friend or family. You're going to get it like this, and then a lot of these places will actually gift wrap it directly for you. So if you go to like maybe like a luxury supermarket and you buy a gift, they might ask you if you're buying like a quantity. Oh, is this a gift for someone? And then if you say yeah, they'd offer to wrap it for you, to gift wrap it for you for free. All right, let's go down here to this next level down here. This is going to be back down to 2. It appears as if this part is underground parking right here. So if you do have a car, you can park down there. Now, to be honest, having a car here is kind of a luxury because it's expensive for your registration, and I believe that you have to do an inspection like every year or every other year, and it's very, very costly. So having a car is not necessarily practical here. And the other thing too is that the public transportation is so convenient. You can pretty much get like almost anywhere that you want to go on the train or the bus, and it's fairly affordable. So if you had to go to work, let's say every day, and you live somewhere within kind of the city, you probably would end up spending about, I don't know, $8 a day or less. It just depends on how far you're gonna go. So every different train is different. The price is different based on the actual distance that you go. So I'll do a video on that. I'll walk you guys into the train station and show you guys what you need to do over here when you actually have to go somewhere. All right, one thing I'm gonna let you guys know over here is that with there being millions and millions of people, there are some people that have manners and there's some people that do not have no manners. There are some people that will run over you. So I'm not in a rush anywhere because I'm just on this trip. But just FYI, don't expect people to have manners like you think they would. If people actually do have some manners, then that's kind of a bonus. I'm gonna be respectful when I'm going somewhere because I'm visiting someone else's country, but you can't expect for people the same. And I think on Monday through Friday it's even worse because people have to go to work. People are in a rush, the trains are packed, ain't nobody got an extra minute to slow down. So on a very rare occasion, somebody will actually say sumimasen, which means excuse me, or they'll say gomenasai, which means I'm sorry, but don't expect that. All right, so we just went inside of the Skytree Tokyo Solamachi. Actually, no, we didn't go inside the Solamachi. It looks like a aquarium. But we went inside the retail space and checked out some of the retail area. We checked out the food court area. We checked out a lot of different areas inside that you might want to visit if you actually came here to Tokyo. Alright, so it appears as if they have that Solamachi, which is an aquarium, which I did not know about. Might have to check that out. And then there's not that far from here, it says Sumida River Walk. For all you smokers, I have bad news for you. You're not going to be able to smoke wherever you want over here, because smoking in public is prohibited except for designated smoking areas. So there are specific areas that you will have to go to smoke. It might be outdoors, it might have a small shelter which people will light up and smoke on the outside, but smoking in public is primarily prohibited. Just as I was telling you guys, look, smoking on the street is prohibited. Sumida is smoking. Don't smoke. See, they don't want you to smoke anyway, but I already kind of knew that was the deal. All right, I'm gonna venture up here not too far because I don't even really know where I'm going. I gotta stay within the confines of where I actually know I am at so I do not get lost. I do want to try this place right here. This is called Pepper Lunch. So this is some type of beef that's not cooked. I'm not exactly sure what that is. This is hamburger, or hambagu is what they call it over here. This is another type of beef that's not cooked. I personally cannot eat beef that's not cooked. I can't eat any raw meat. I will get sick. My body does not have a tolerance for it. Okay, and then just right down the block from Skytree, you can see that this is just a residential neighborhood. Looks like the Tokyo Fire Department's going to a fire, or maybe they're responding to an emergency. I don't exactly know. But like I was saying, just outside, just immediately surrounding this neighborhood is just a total residential neighborhood. Kind of maybe a little bit different than what you'd experience in some other big cities that have big, huge buildings. Now, if you're in New York, for example, then yeah, there's going to be residential buildings and condominiums like that, like in very close proximity to the larger buildings. But outside of that, in most other major cities, there's not like an abundance of condominiums and high-rises. It's mainly commercial buildings with maybe kind of like a spattering of residential buildings. But here, with the city being heavily populated and very, very densely populated, there's housing everywhere that you look. So like this, for example, this is definitely housing right here. All these other buildings over here, this is all residential. This is not commercial. All right, I'm just gonna walk down this street right here so I can show you guys how much food is here. This is food. This is some type of Korean place. This is more food right here. This is more food right here. This is food right here. That looks like that's Italian. And then that's closed. So this is a izakaya, which I believe is like a drinking kind of restaurant. So you go in and you can drink. And look, they got their bottles lined up down there. They're ready for you. For all you wine connoisseurs, if you like wine. All right, so this is also something that's very interesting about here. So biking is like one of the primary forms of transportation over here. So outside, you see people just park their bikes right outside. Some people lock their bikes up. A lot of people do not lock their bikes up. But this is like shelter right outside of this apartment complex. So typically you'd have to pay a fee to park your bike in these apartments or condos or whatever you want to call them. And then this looks like it's kind of like scooter parking. All right, so the one thing that I do want to tell you about bikes is that you have to get your bike registered. Now, in order to get your bike registered, you need to have an address. If you don't have an address, then you're not going to be able to register your bike. And in that case, if you were stopped riding a bike if you're foreign, probably going to have a more likely chance of getting stopped. Just depending. I've never been stopped, so I can't say that that's really that true. But there's registration sticker on your bike. That registration sticker is going to be registered to an individual. If you're riding that bike and you're not registered, you're not the individual that comes up with that registration, it's going to be assumed that you do not own that bike and that bike is stolen. So here's what the taxi cabs look like over here. It looks kind of like our PT Cruisers in the US. And then just want to get a little bit of footage of what some of the cars look like over here. You can see that these cars are very much different than the models that we would be able to get in the US. A lot of these are more compact. That's like kind of like a minivan right there. So these minivans are smaller so that they could park in tighter spaces. Another thing that you will notice over here is there's vending machines on the street everywhere. You probably can't go a couple blocks without seeing a vending machine. I think that's kind of unique about Japan. It's pretty convenient. And then the other thing too is like the crime is very low here. So it might kind of look like a bad neighborhood, but they don't have the same types of social problems that we have in the US. Here in Japan, there's pretty much zero tolerance for drug use. Illegal drugs, that is. So if you got a pot habit, if you got any other hardcore drug habit, this is not going to be the place for you. Because if you get caught with one single small quantity in the US, they might let you go. Here in Japan, you're not going to get off with that. It doesn't matter. You could have a quarter of a gram Okay, get stopped with 1/4 of a gram, you're going to jail. Period. No ifs, ands, and buts. And the criminal justice system here, you don't want to get caught up in the criminal justice system over here, because if you do, there's no guaranteed rights that you might get in other countries such as the US. You don't have a right to a trial. You do have a right to a trial, but they have a conviction rate of 99%. So forced confessions happen all the time, and they can essentially just continue to hold you until you admit guilt, even if you're not guilty. So let's say you got arrested for some reason. They could arrest you, hold you for like 3 weeks while they try to gather some more evidence, and then after 3 weeks, then they could try to charge you with one thing. Then after another couple of weeks, then they could charge you with another thing. Then after a couple more weeks, they could charge you with something else. They are going to stretch this process all the way out on you. They're going to stretch it all the way out to the point where a lot of people are basically just going to confess to something they didn't do so that they could have the chance to get out. This is what the police cars look like over here. Speaking of the police, somebody must have did something wrong over here. So confessions are going to be forced. Again, if you're doing the wrong thing out here, you're a criminal, anything like that, you do not want to come here, because they're going to lock you up and you're not going to be able to get the same access to attorneys, phone calls, anything like that. The trial is going to be absolutely rigged, 100%, and I can promise you that. Alright, so I'm about to take this bus back. There's no eating and drinking on the bus. And I don't think there's any eating and drinking on any public transportation at all here. Otherwise, I think it would become problematic with the amount of people that are here. Looks to be like a shrine. Buses over here are designed a little bit differently. You see they have some priority seating for people that have disabilities or maybe older people. and or children. It looks like this space down here is just for strollers or if you have kids. Alright, I'll be back.